Yeah, YouTubers, Tasman here, bringing you another episode of Fantasy Grounds Unity from the ground up. And in the last episode, we went and we created a character manually. The episode just prior to that, we actually used the character wizard. And in this episode, I think it's only going to be one episode. We're going to kind of go through the character sheet and kind of identify. A lot of this stuff is automated from, you know, like if someone casts something and this and that, the other will automatically be adjusted. However, for whatever reason you need to do it manually, I kind of wanted to make that known to you as well. Now, all truth be told, this might be the last video in this series. They're just not doing very well on my channel. The Foundry ones seem to be doing better than these. And I definitely, gotta go with the ones that are actually getting the most views and actually getting the most attention. So, like, I've been looking back and, these have been getting okay. If you guys want to chime in and tell me, hey, please keep these up, they're great, or you have pointers or whatever about them, I'm more than happy to receive that information, and if I get positive feedback, then I will definitely keep on going. However, at this point, it just kind of seems like, my last video, let's see, of these, which was a week ago, has like six views. The one prior to that, 4 views. Before that was 14. So it's hit or miss as to whether it's going to be a very successful video. And if you have any recommendations, what I could do better, I'm happy to receive that as well. So let's go ahead and jump in and start doing this. So in the character sheet, and this is whether you use the wizard or you're manually doing it, this is how you can customize your character sheet more. So right here we have our portrait. If we click on it, we're taken, depending on how the GM has set up things, you might be taken to a place where you can actually select a portrait. You just click on it. Those are all ugly. I don't want those. I think the Pathfinder ones are usually pretty good. So we could grab, whatever one of these we want. Is there one? What is this? This is our fighter. I don't know, maybe her. I know she's not a fighter. So this one over here is your portrait. This one over here is your token. So this is what will be on the map, and they can be different. It's just when you first select one, if this doesn't have something, it will actually automatically set it there. If we click on that, usually it will let you, or maybe it's lagging, I'm not sure. Hello? Export. Nope, none of that. I'm not sure why it's not doing it. This little chat bubble here, if you're like managing multiple characters, you have maybe a sidekick or something like that. If you click on this little chat bubble, what it will do is change this GM, or in your case, it'll be your player name, to the name of the character. I'm pretty sure this is the same still in players version. Right now we're in the GM version. So it might be a little bit different, but I believe it's pretty much the same. But if we click on that, you'll see now it's saying that we're being Tasman. And if we have another character open, say Tazzy here, and we click on that, it will now say Tazzy. So, and then it just has this little history here of what we've been, and all that really does is just kind of gives a little bit of depth and immersion to the game itself. We've already talked about class and level, how you level up, proficiency bonus, all this fun stuff. This will be like if you have dark vision, this is where it will be listed right here, saying dark vision or devil's sight or whatever senses you might have will be listed here. This is your perception, passive perception. So obviously she has a wisdom of 0 plus 10 is 10. So there's that. Now down here, generally when you're playing the game, and a battle is going on or something, you'll mostly be in the combat tracker. And in the combat tracker, you won't be able to see all this information for everyone, but you'll be able to see some basic things for you and your party. You'll be able to see, usually, I believe, the initiative. You'll be able to see the HP of your party. And then we have this TMP and WND. If you take damage, that goes into the WND and WND. So if I were to take 2 damage here, then we would do that, and now we've taken 2 damage. So if we had a token on a map, you would actually see that it's damaged. If we get all the way to 8, obviously we're dead. When we get temporary hit points, those will actually go in this TMP. So let's say we have someone is at 8, I believe, that gives you some hit points. So let's say we get 5 hit points here. Now you'll notice it doesn't change instantly here, but if we do close this and reopen this, it should actually have those changes in there. Although it doesn't. I'm not sure if that's because we're in GM or not. Oh, because that's not our character. I lied. Let's go ahead and make this one of our characters here. So if we come here, back here, and just drag Tasman in there, now it's going to work a little better. So if we say we receive 10 damage, right? So there's that, and then maybe let's give us 5 temporary hit points. You'll see it does update in here as well. So if for whatever reason something isn't automatically doing it, I don't think as a player you have access to these two. You just have this. This is available. You can see it, but you can't edit it. And this is kind of the same. Most of this stuff will be just for your information type of thing. But this is where it's actually editing it on the sheet itself. So, as you get healed, you can go back to 0 there, and as you lose that temporary hit points, oops, I hit 2 instead of 0. There we go. So death saves, if you're ever asked to roll a death save, if it's not set to automatic, you can just come in here and click on this little guy right here, and it will automatically roll a death save. And then it will automatically also mark if it's a save or a fail. Now the reason we're not seeing it right now is because we have all our hit points, we're not dead. If we actually went in here and said now we're dead, we got that gray, and we roll a death save, we should start seeing actual saves. So when it's your turn, there we go, 2 saves, and if we roll the 3rd, that's a fail. Come on, let's get another save. A 12's another save. So technically, now we're at 1 hit point, or we don't have to roll our death saves anymore because we've got our 3. I don't think it has the intelligence to know that, we're just unconscious. So see, it will still let us do that. However, if once you hit this spot where you have your 3 saves, and you say, well, okay, I'm 28 now. Whoops, not 8. 28, like so. Now it will roll it, but it's not going to track it. So there you go. Although here it does say death, absolute death. There are, I believe, some modules that will actually reset these. I believe you have to do them yourself, and it's a good idea anytime you get rezzed or whatever to do that. I think I mentioned this in the previous when we were actually talking about these are inspiration. Generally there's only 1 here, but in the options I have it actually set to 3. The next section here is all the skills. Now anytime you see this little plus minus thing, this means you can actually edit and change something manually. So for example, let's say we're a thief and we want to add our thieves tools so that we can automatically roll it. Well, we just click on the plus minus there to make it edit mode, which will enable this little guy, and then we can click there. Now once again, just like I said before, you do not want to hit enter when you're done. That will create another line. So if we do THIEVES, TOLS, something like that. If we simply click off of it, now you'll see we have Thieves Tools in here. And because it's a custom item, we actually have the option to delete it. Now, once you have your tool or whatever, you can come in here and set what it is. You just simply click this and it'll cycle through, and then it'll reset if you keep going. But we can say, okay, maybe dexterity. You need to have good dexterity. A lot of people will bounce between dexterity and intelligence for this. I usually use dexterity because it's more of a when the lock picks are in there, it's more of a feel than a you know, you have to be you have to have finesse. So, but your DM might have something else. So as you can see, we can cycle through. If you just keep clicking, it'll go back. So if you overshoot it, as far as I know, I don't remember if there is a way back. If you hold shift, con, int, no, int. Okay, control is what makes it go backwards. So if you overshoot it, hold control, and it will go backwards. So we can say dex here. You can see that it now says +2 because our dex is a +2. With a fighter, that really doesn't matter to us. The next thing is we have this little star here. This is if we're proficient. So if I'm proficient with Thieves Tools, I can click that little star. Now if I'm a rogue and I have expertise with Thieves Tools, I will actually click it one additional time, and now you'll see it actually gives us 2 stars saying we're double proficient or expertise, right? So we have a double proficiency bonus. There are some things that you might end up having half proficiency with. I don't think I've ever really seen it, but it is an option. If you are half proficient with something, instead of a +2, we get a +1. That would be the next click. You'll see it's kind of a half star and it says half proficiency. So we can pretend like we're doubly proficient with Thieves Tools. Doesn't matter because there's no real character. So anyway, you can add and remove different custom skills. When you're done, just click on that, and now it's sealed. If we now click on our little die here, drag it over here, you'll see everything works where it says skill, Thieves Tools, mod, the modifier is dex, and we have a proficiency 2 times. So this is good for the GM because they'll be able to see, oh yeah, they're cheating. They don't have double proficiency. So that is that tab. The next one we've already talked about. This is if you have feats and everything. One thing I like to do is if, for example, you have Dragon's Breath or something like that, is I will come in here and actually put in parentheses the one I choose. So if we have something in here, I don't think any of the, maybe fighting style would be one. For example, if I chose a fighting style and I said, well, yeah, I want to be archery, what I would do, just so I remember it really quickly, is just put parentheses and say ARCHERY like that, just so I have a quick little thing to say, yes, this is what it is. If I want to know more about it, then I can click the little I and read about that. Sometimes these actually have a thing that say what it is, which this might, I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember if it does to weapon. It doesn't look like it. And then we have our traits. Same thing here. All these things, you can add your own. You can drag and drop them. So if we go to feats right now, I think we only have 1 feat as an, I believe it's grappler. So if we go look at feats, if we said, yeah, we have a feat, we just drag it in here and it'll automatically put it in the right spot as long as we're on the right page. And then languages, we kind of did this where we just went in and added a couple new languages. The inventory, we kind of went over this. If you're using weight, if your GM is using weight and encumbrance and stuff, you will have this spot right here be more important because it will actually keep track of it, and different modules and stuff like that might actually apply different penalties. like making it so your movement is halved if you reach your maximum weight. So if we hit the maximum, then all of a sudden our speed is reduced. If we hit 540, all of a sudden we're not moving anymore. So we have that. I'm not sure why this is blue. Is it? Oh, actually, I bet you I do know why. It's because I think we deleted it. But it's always been blue in there. So let's go look in currency real quick. I think when we were testing, we ended up deleting it and re-adding it. So it's not thinking of that as this one. It's my guess anyway. So anyway, here's your currencies. There are, once again, modules that you can buy and stuff that will, automatically, convert things. So if I have 100 gold pieces, it will convert it to platinum, or usually it's only up. It won't say that if I have 100 gold pieces, it's, 1,000 silver or whatever. But anyway, this is kind of your inventory area. If you're attuned to a weapon, if it requires attunement, that will be listed right here. We've went over this when we were creating our character. This is basically whether it's carried, whether you're equipping it, or whether it's not carried at all, so it's not being tracked. So if we come in here, we look at our 270 here, and let's say we take this guy right here, our hempen rope, which is 10 pounds, and put it to not carried, it will end up affecting your total here. Although that doesn't change, it's just how much you're actually carrying. These values don't. This one changed, I believe. So if we do that and that, see, it went to 124. So hopefully that helps you with this section right here. One really nice thing you can do with this is you can actually kind of say, well, I have lots of things in my backpack. So we could actually have our backpack empty be a location called backpack, right? B-A-C-K-P-A-C-K. So something like this. And then what we can do is we can start saying things are in our backpack. So we could say, well, we got 2 crossbow bolts. Oh, we got the K. Okay, that's why. So let's say we have our crowbar in here. So we'll do B-A-C-K, backpack, and we'll get rid of the empty part. And you'll see as soon as I click off this, it puts it up here under backpack, right? Actually, we need to also do this to make it actually track better. So if I do that, you'll actually see it indents because this is the item container. This is what it is. Over here is your quantities. But a really nice thing about doing this and going through and maybe putting things on your back, on a belt, in a pouch, things along those lines, is now we can come down here. We can say the hammer's in the backpack. We can say the pitons in the backpack. Rations are in the backpack. This rope's in the backpack. Tinder boxes in the backpack. Torches, they're on the backpack. Maybe that's in there as well. So now what I can actually do is if I unequip or say I'm not carrying the backpack, it will actually automatically unequip everything within it. So if we click on the carried and change it to unequipped, now you'll see we just dropped our backpack and our weight went down considerably. So we can do that, to keep track of the items. If we have a bag of holding, we can actually set it up so that, the items in the bag are not going to have a value. Then when we go pick up our backpack, we can do that, and once again it goes back up. So really handy to actually go through and maybe have, if you have a back harness with your shield and your sword, if you take that thing off so that your shield and sword is no longer part of what you're wearing, or battle axe in this case, you can instantly drop it, which is kind of nice. The next area is the notes. We kind of went over this just really quickly, but here, this is all just editable fields that you can put whatever you want in them. Some of them, for things to work properly, you need to have them more exact, kind of like languages and currency and stuff like that. So, you know, you can have gender here, age, height, weight. You can have the alignment. You can have a deity if you have that. You have a notes section. Then you have these right here, which are on your character sheet as well when you actually print one out. You know, you get your personality traits, ideals, bonds, flaws, and then here's more on your appearance. So if we come into, say, our backgrounds, like so, and click on Mr. Acolyte, we'll have some tables that we can actually roll on right here. So here's our personality. If we want to roll and have it tell us what one, we just click on the roll here, and we got an 8. So this is going to be our thing. We can just simply grab this and drag it under personality traits, and there you go. We can do ideals. Go and close that. Take that, go under ideals. Do our bonds. What bonds us? There we go. And finally our flaw. Now a lot of people skip the flaw, but I really think it's a good idea to have a flaw. Flaw is what kind of makes your character a character. I mean, if everyone was perfect, then what would be the point? You know, it's our flaws that define us and make us interesting. So there you go. There's that section right there. We're at 21 minutes. The log part I did talk about. This is more for if you're in adventure guilds, where you have a DCI number and a faction that you've joined, and you can add your factions. There is a really nice module that actually gives you a journal tab, and I'm trying to think of what it's called. I think it's like Mad Dog's Journal or something like that. If anyone's interested, let me know in the comments, and I will look it up and tell you what it is. But it's a nice thing that gives you another tab that just kind of lets you have stories, you know, more. It's kind of like this, but it's specific for journaling. And finally, we have our actions. So this is where all your different weapons are going to be that are equipped. We did talk about, you know, primary hand, offhand, and the like. One nice thing about this is if you actually have a value in here for how much ammo you have, if you roll the die here to attack, it will automatically subtract 1. And if we have all of them used, it will actually, whoops, there we go. If we have all of them used, we'll actually go to attack, and it says, yeah, you can't do that, you're out of ammo. So we'll get this. I mean, it still does roll and tells you the info. However, it also tells you, sorry, you're out of ammo. So I don't know of a quick, is there a quicker? I don't think I can right click. Can I clear that? I can. Yeah, that's good. So we can do that, keep track of our bolts and stuff like that, which is really nice. If we need to add a weapon, generally you're not going to have to add a weapon that's manual, but you can come in here, add a weapon. You just simply say, is it carried? Is it equipped? Is it not carried? And we could call this my WAPON. I believe when we do this, it also puts it in the inventory tab. So if we click off of that inventory, is there my weapon in here? I don't remember for sure. Maybe it doesn't actually. But you can add it to your inventory tab by clicking on the little guy, well, the info if you get it. But for example, here's my weapon. We can once again say, is it melee, is it thrown, is it ranged, is it primary hand, offhand, two-handed. We can set up our different values by clicking on this little magnifying glass, and here we can see that right now it's using it as a base stat, which is our strength because we're a fighter. We don't have any bonus on this, but it does have proficiency, so it's +4, +6, +2, which is our proficiency bonus. Then for damage, we would come in here and click on this, and let's say it's 2d12. We can actually right click to get 2 dice, drag those, drop those in there, and you'll see it automatically adds it up. We can say if it uses a special stat, we can do that. If it has a bonus, we can do that. And we can say the type of damage. Now this is important because the game actually has the ability to see what resistances and immunities something has. And if it's in here and spelt right and proper case and stuff, it will actually, excuse me, it'll automatically do those things it needs to. So if we come in here and say that this is piercing, or maybe, I don't know, slashing. So if we do that, oh, whoops, right here. Now when we OK this or close this, and we can add properties in there if we want, now it actually knows that, yep, there it goes. Grab 2d12, added 4 to it, and it knows that it is slashing damage. So these are some important things. If you have spells, which will, yeah, if you have spells, you will use these guys more. So first of all, there's your modes and there's your display. So this is the display, how it looks. Right now things are grouped. In fact, let's go grab our, I think, was it a wizard we made? Tazzy? Cleric. So we'll talk about this real quick since they have spells. So the default is standard and grouped. If we click on the display to change the group, it'll go to summary, so it's only showing you the summary. Basically, it just gets rid of that info. And then there's the action one. This is usually what you'll play with, is the action, because now all I have to do if I'm casting Firebolt is roll to attack. If I get, well, I failed, and now it's rolling on the crit fail table. Let's attack again. 17, we'll say that hits. You know, then you just click on this one right here, and you can see it says 8 damage. So it automatically, because how it's set up, it automatically knows that stuff. So usually I set it to action. Now over here we have the mode. Standard mode shows you all this information. We have the preparation mode. So if you have spells that you need to prepare, you know, if we're preparing cure wounds, however many we can do. If we put the dot in it, that means we're prepared. Obviously, you don't need to prepare cantrips, so we're good there. This is also where we can reset different values. And then the next one is the combat. So generally, what people will do is have combat and actions. And the reason for this is, you know, if I have, let's just take healing word out of the prepared. If we go into combat, you'll see it actually removes it because it's not prepared. So I don't have to go, oh wait, did I prepare that one? If I'm in combat and actions, everything is right where I need it. So, and then of course, here's your spell slots. If I use a spell, for example, Cure Wounds, click on that, you'll see that we then would mark that we used a spell slot. I thought it also did that automatically. That might have been a mod I used to use. I'm not sure. If I cast it again, there we go, Cure Wounds, then I would click it again. And now you'll see it automatically removed all my spells because I have no level 1 spell slots available. If I bring them back, you'll see that I do that. Now it will automatically heal you and all that fun stuff when you take a long rest. The GM is the one that will execute a long rest. They'll come into the combat tracker, go under menu here, and say rest, and choose whether it's a short rest or long rest. If it's a long rest, you'll see that it says taking a long rest. Did that do it? Identified. I think it healed them up. Oh, actually, it's not going to do it because Tazzy's not in here. Hold on, let's put Tazzy in here now. I got to remember. All right, now let's go ahead and do a rest, do a long rest. And now if we go look at Tazzy up here. It's just the info, I guess. You'll see that automatically reset that and reset everything else. So I think this is a 30-minute video. I think this is plenty. to help you understand how your character sheet works. Like I said, lots of things are actually automated. Basically, they just happen. You don't have to do much because of all the automation that's built into it, especially if you have different modules and all that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. You learned something new. Hopefully you, if you want more of these videos, definitely let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I might just go back over to Foundry VTT because it seems to be more of a popular topic right now on my channel. But as I have both these products, I'm more than happy to kind of do both of them. I just want to make sure that I'm providing you guys what you want. So that is it. Like I said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord and my other channels. And don't forget to tell other people about my channel. Have them check it out. If they like what they see, they can sub. We grow the channel. Everyone's happy. And that is it, my friends. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.